There we go.
This chaos night.
He doesn't announce himself. He's creepy.
Yeah, I kind of wish he announced it backwards.
That would be terrifying, honestly.
No, I'd love it.
All right, everybody.
All right, we got that rolling.
All
We got
right.
that rolling. All right. On this time on go. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, go, and then we clap on the go.
Okay.
All right. Fuck. 1, 2, 3, go.
Did you hear mine? I don't know if I was loud enough.
I mean, it's not necessarily that we need to hear it. It's just that's what it will sync up with when they see the
3,
clap.
2, 1.
1. Jobe did it perfectly. Okay. Anyway.
All right, Jobe, do your little music fades in bit.
Right. All right. So the music has faded in. Another great introduction from DJ Zanninap. What's up, buttholes? Scareheads. Guys, quick! I need a third thing to call our audience.
Yes, and cut all this out of the video.
Fellows.
Madison's alike. Welcome back to another
bitches.
terrifying. What's up, bitches? To another terrifying
non-derogatory.
Non-derogatory. I can't express that enough. Buttholes is derogatory though.
No, buttholes is our fan base.
Yeah,
derogatory.
All of our fans are derogatorial.
Aw. We don't mean it. Come here. Give us.
Anyway. Yeah. It's me, Marshall, joined by Jobe and Trace today, and we watched, compared to other days when I'm not joined by you, and we are disconnected. We do not feel the bond between us. We watched a spooky movie today. All of us watched it today at different times. I watched mine at like 2:00.
Me too.
What about you, Jobe?
8.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And now we're recording this at 10. So
Marshall and I like to get up early because we're people.
Yeah, I've got things to do with my day.
Jobe slept until 8 in the evening.
Anywho, I thought it was a lot better, Terrifier 2 than Terrifier 1. Not only that it seems like they did more with their now new and improved budget, but they it had a better mouthfeel. I don't know how else to describe it. The umami was there, and the other one, it was like you're munching on chips with no seasoning, just fried chip. Gotta have a little bit of salt on there. Gotta have salt. This movie had some salt, maybe some pepper on it.
Too much salt in that one scene.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Hey, shout out to anyone that gets salt in their wounds. Am I right?
Shout out to salt. Hey, what is it? Mortson, sponsor us.
That was bad.
Yeah.
I'll eat a cup of salt if they sponsor us.
So, I guess I don't normally say this, but I like to think I got a pretty strong stomach for these sort of things. But do not watch this movie if you're sensitive to gore.
Yeah. The first movie would be like an appetizer. You go to your Olive Garden. The first movie is like the breadsticks and the little fried calamaris you get. I'm a big fried calamari guy, all right? And then this movie would be like your fettuccine Alfredo with chicken, because I know everyone listening to this is a basic bitch and gets the fettuccine Alfredo with chicken. Am I right? Back me up on this, team.
I've only had Olive Garden once, and I had the lasagna.
And
I didn't get
actually no. I think I had chicken Alfredo.
See, it's like 50%.
But I would like to point out that it's only because the waitress got my order wrong, and she went, "Do you want me to get you something else?" And I went, "Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't want to stress you out."
Trace is a basic bitch, but I'm exotic.
I was a basic bitch on accident. I ordered the lasagna, and she went, "Chicken Alfredo."
It was written in the stars.
It was. The stars aligned to bring Trace his chicken really Alfredo.
On this last few days.
It just sounds so better to be like, this is what's happening because I said so, versus the stars have foretold that this is happening. You're like, fuck, the stars.
Fuck.
Can't get wrong
Who
with
am I
the
to argue for
stars.
stars?
Madison,
This
can
light
you
is
like edit some like
millions
stars
of
above
years
my
old.
head?
Edit in star
Uh,
sounds, please. Sprinkle,
Yeah.
sparkle, sparkle. Oh, what are those
Sprinkle,
stars
sprinkle,
from
sprinkle.
Dora the Explorer? You know, in like
I know what you're talking about, but
there's like a springy one, and then there's other ones.
Oh,
You know?
yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
think they're just called. They're
Anyway.
just stars.
hey,
Anyway,
Marshall,
the
why don't
movie.
you tell us
Stars.
what happened in this dang old movie?
So Terrifier 1, really quick for those, what it leaves off on is the what's her name? The person who gets brutally
Vicky.
fucked up,
Oh,
Vicky,
Vicky? Yeah.
in the face. It kind of focuses on her interview with that one lady, right? It's kind of going on in the background. They mention it. At the same time, Art the Clown, who in the last movie was dead, and we saw him wake up, officially does the whole he is awoken in the beginning of this. He kills the shit out of the coroner, dips. Next place he must go, is the laundromat to get his clothes washed, and he just gets bare ass naked, reads a newspaper, plays patty cake with I'm assuming another demonic entity. Little pale girl, I believe, is what she's referred to as, so I will be referring to her as Pale Girl 2. No, it's bad. Give me a good name for the little pale girl.
Did you say Pillow Girl?
No, Pale Girl.
Fuck, Jobe, you fucking idiot.
Uh,
I mean, they just call her. They just call her the little pale girl.
We'll call her Rebecca.
Yeah.
So Art and Rebecca play
for
patty
sure.
cake. It's kind of implied that she's in his mind and not really a real person. He kills someone at the laundromat, and then she dips. He dips from the laundromat. And then a year passes, and we see a teenager, and she's putting together like a cosplay outfit kind of deal, like whole body armor, arm, shoulder things, wings,
knees and
she's doing this whole thing. And this is Sienna Shaw, one of our main characters. And she has a younger brother, Jonathan Shaw, and then they have their mother. I forget what her name was. We'll just call her Mommy, because that's what they refer to as. No.
Start with a B.
Bitch.
No. Barbara.
Mommy.
Mommy.
The mom.
So they have a quick dinner, right? And they're like, what are you going for as Halloween? And Jonathan, being the sick little fuck, is like, I want to dress as that freaky little clown last year. And Sienna's like, no, that's weird. And Barbara's like, no, that's weird. He's like, I think he makes that exact same sound, actually. Then there's this really long scene in which Sienna's asleep, and there's like a dream sequence in which Art infiltrates her dream, hangs out with everyone in her dream because it's like a commercial in her dream, gives her a present, which is like a heart, and then pulls out like a Tommy gun and kills everyone, and then lights everyone on fire. And then as he's about to light Sienna on fire, she wakes up, and she also stabs him, I think, in the dream, or stabs someone in the dream, whatever. And then her room is on fire, specifically the wings that she was working on. So that's a whole thing. Barbara's pissed at her for this, right? She's like, you can't leave your candles on in your room. The next day, right? Jonathan's at school. He sees Art and Rebecca, the little pale girl. They're playing with the dead possum, and he's like, ew, that's gross. And then Jonathan is on the receiving end of a football catch from Art, which the football in this case is the possum. And Jonathan catches the possum, and now it's all over him and on the ground. So the school's like, dude, you can't be doing that, man. That's kind of fucked up, man. So he goes home, and he's like suspended for a couple days or whatever it is. Additionally, at her school, Sienna is talking with her homegirls, and they're like, yeah, did you hear that fucking talk show host got her shit kicked in by that one girl? And Sienna's like, I can't do that. And then they go to a costume shop to buy some wings. And then this is the best scene where we have Art the Clown just hanging out, being a weird little dude, right? Just, he's honking his little horn. He's got some glasses on. He's being funny, right? Sienna dips to go home, right? And then Art just fucking kills the shit out of the shop vendor, which is really funny. It's irony, I think, because the shop vendor said, "Hey, get out of here, or I beat you up," and then he immediately died. Next scene is the big one, guys. So Art breaks into Sienna's friend's home and brutally kills her. And when I say brutally to our audience, it's pretty bad. I won't go into detail because I feel like we'll get
flagged of some sort.
Something huge, but
it's probably the most brutal I've seen in a movie.
If you if you want a representation, just look up Terrifier 2 bedroom scene and then you'll get that, or just watch Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
Whatever. So this whole happens. He kills her friend and her friend's mom, right? And then at the Shaw household, Jonathan shows his sister and their mother the little sketchbook that's his father's that he's been hiding from their family, right? The father's dead, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Trace, do the bit. Do the bit.
What bit?
I hate Trace.
The dad's dead.
Yeah, there it is. Essentially, in the dad's notebook are some sketches of the character, which is what the girl was making her costume based on, and then has pictures, like sketches of Art and newspaper clippings of Art and deaths and this spooky ass circus in his book, which is weird because this was like before this all happened, I thought, right? Anyways, fucking Sienna's not there. Barbara gets really pissed at Jonathan and rips up the fucking book. Jonathan calls his mom a bitch. Barbara smacks the shit out of Jonathan. Jonathan fucking dips. And then he's like, "I'm out of here, dog." And then Barbara goes downstairs and she's all pissed because fucking Jonathan put shaving cream in a pumpkin and TP all over her car. And she's like, "I'm so fucking pissed at this dude." Turns out it was Art. She goes to clean the windshield. Pew! Sawed off shotgun to Barbara's face. She's fucking dead. At the same time this is happening, Sienna's at a fucking party getting fucking wasted and hopped up on Molly, right? And she's fucking seeing hallucinations of the little pale girl, Rebecca. Then Jonathan goes back home from his running away and comes back, fucking sees his mom without a face getting force-fed mashed potatoes from Art. Art then tranks this fucking kid, right? Puts him in the back of his van. Little pale girl imitates his voice, calls Sienna, and is like, "Yo, come to the creepy-ass circus. I'm in there. I'm also stuck." So Sienna and her friend and her friend's boyfriend go to the circus. Long story short, friend and friend's boyfriend both die. Friend's boyfriend actually did get stabbed in the dick. Like, that is not a bit.
Yeah.
He does get stabbed in the penis multiple times, and we get to see a penis get ripped off. Fun fact to anyone out there. And then he kills the boyfriend, the friend of Sienna, and then they just have this whole like long ass chase scene where Sienna beats the shit out of him, but like he's like can't die, so he kicks the shit out of her and Jonathan, and then she's like low key dead, right? But then she like comes back to life with the power of the sword that her father gave her, and then like cuts off Art's head. It's this really sick bit where she's at like essentially like what I think it was like likened to like a Valkyrie in some of the different threads that I've seen, right, with the wings and the armor, and she's like, I'm holding his fucking head, which is exactly like it was in the sketchbook. Isn't that crazy? And so Sienna and Art just fucking dip. Little pale girl takes Art's head and dips, and then that's it, man. That's the end of it. Pretty sure. Oh, what is it?
There's a after credit thing with Vicky.
Yeah. Vicky's fucking throwing up. Writes some bullshit on the wall, and then gives birth to Art's head. And the nurse is like, yeah. So, as I said, yes, Joe?
This is going to be no.
I would just like to start by pointing out you started your summary with this pale girl. I'll call her something so I don't gotta just call her the pale girl, Rebecca. And then for the rest of
started
the
calling her the
summary,
pale girl.
it was always the pale girl, Rebecca.
Just so you know,
That's her full name.
it's an adjective. It's
Yeah.
a description. You know,
Rebecca
Yeah,
or
well,
pale girl?
both.
Hmm.
pale
Isn't your
girl is the
name?
name. Rebecca's
Isn't
the
your
game.
isn't your name just a description of who you are?
I'd
No.
like to think of it as a title.
It's a title.
Your
Anything.
mom title. Anywho,
Name.
the
Mother is also a title.
like I said,
Nope, that's a name.
like I was telling my people that I have.
Esteemed colleague, me.
No, my people. It
and I
sounds
was also
cooler
there.
if I say my people, right? They're like, I got my
Sure.
friend Jobe on this. Nah, I got my people on
Alright.
this. Right? What this movie does is they let Art the Clown be a clown more, which is my favorite part of these movies so far. Is Art the Clown being a silly little guy,
human boy,
right? Like I could give or take the gore shit. Like at a certain point, it's too much for me. But on the other hand, I get to see Art the Clown do his little silly little dances and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sorry, I just watched Jobe sneeze on camera. It's so unprofessional. It really threw me off.
You know, we might have to take him out to pasture. So what did y'all think? I just talked for like 40 minutes, I feel like. So
At least, yeah.
You did.
okay,
I
hate both
timed
of
it.
you.
So, if any of you fans of the show are listening, you might, if you've listened to our episode on Terrifier, you might remember that I did not like it very much at all. However, this one I did like a little bit. First half especially, I was almost wondering if this was going to be an Evil Dead scenario where the first one kind of sucks eggs, but then the second one really brings it together. Unfortunately, yeah. What was it? Damien Leone? You're a sick bastard. I respect you, but you're a sick fuck.
I get what you're about, but also, like, what the fuck, dog?
I don't to like an understanding level. I get it in the sense of I see it. I know what you're doing. Don't agree with it though. I don't like killing people. Just putting that out there.
Killing people to make your movies.
It's not cool.
He's putting his foot down.
We are taking a stance here on Scare by Scare.
Anyone else who's with me, we're gonna walk Broadway.
We're gonna find every filmmaker who kills people for sport.
And we're gonna put them in our Hunger Games.
We're gonna put them on a deserted island, and then we're gonna hunt them.
Like Total Drama Island.
We're gonna put them on Candy Island.
We need to get Chris out here.
Oh, you guys ever played Candyland as a kid? I remember I was so obsessed with getting the big one that takes you all the way across. God, Chutes and Ladders too. I was thinking about that. It's been a day for Marshall.
Loves the big moves.
It sounds like it. Anyway, I like this movie a little more because I feel like they were able to, like, since they had a little more budget and a little more like planning with it, it seems like there's actually more lore behind it rather than, hey, crazy guy starts killing people. Also, hey, he's not dead, even though we killed him. He's back. This one actually seemed like it had like some thought behind it. It had some plot. It had some like, oh, whoa, what's going on there? Like, how's that connected? And then they're like, you'll find out in Terrifier 3, but they probably still won't tell us.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You can tell the budget's there just because they have more than one location. I mean, like in the first one, they had the pizza place, the street, and the apartment or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Warehouse apartment deal. And like I think Jobe was saying earlier, like it's at a certain point in the first one, it's like, okay, 95% of this movie is just decrepit ass hallways.
Right.
Versus this one, you got like a lot of different scenery, and seeing art in these different places is what kind of threw it, it's a little more scary, right? Like, oh yeah, if you look down a decrepit hallway, lights blinking out, right? There's graffiti, probably some shit on the ground. You see art. Yeah, that's his natural habitat. You don't expect to see him at school.
Like a middle school, and he's just sitting on the ground playing with a dead possum. It's like, whoa, he has power even here? Man.
Like,
if you stare down a decrepit hallway, it's weird if you don't see a killer clown.
Yeah. if I'm in an abandoned building of some sort and I don't see a killer clown, I'm probably going to be more scared.
But
Marshall's
Joe,
a
do you
sleepy
want-
little guy.
Aw,
I'm just so old.
it's true. It's past his bedtime.
For our viewers
Marshall
who don't
is
know
the
what I
oldest
look
one
like,
here.
I'm
Wait,
56.
what do you mean? I don't know what we look like. We're recording this.
What if they're not looking at me?
That's a good point.
What if they're
That's a
looking
good
at you,
point.
Joe?
Fan artists, close your eyes and draw Marshall as he describes himself now.
Go ahead. All right.
Okay, I'm like 66-ish. I'm flabby in all the wrong places. I got a hunchback like Notre Dame, but I also am tall like, oh, what's that guy? Dr.
The Iron
Facilier.
Giant.
I got his teeth. And I got horns like the fucking goat from Hoodwinked and his eyes. So do with that what you will.
God, I wish we had people doing fan art.
I wish we had fans.
I'll get my people on.
We gotta get Danny to listen to the show more.
Danny, come on.
Eileen.
Yeah. What? I don't know. Just like to paint. Yeah, the gore scene in the middle was like they blew a lot of their wad of fucking budget on this because it goes on. It was maybe like 5-6 minutes at least. Like it from when he starts to the end. There's a lot of steps that what he does is not just like, because usually so far what we've seen with Art that he'll like do one thing to the body and then they'll die and then maybe he'll do something else. Example, the lady at the beginning, the crazy cat lady in the first one, he just cuts her tits off. He doesn't kill her. She probably bleeds out, but he does cut her tits off, remember? Whereas this one, he does like 7 or 8 different things, and then he leaves, and you're like, oh, it's done. And then he comes back for more to literally rub salt in the wound. I'm like, you could have trimmed that down.
Yeah, and the bedroom scene is like, it's a big controversial thing because of like how gross it is. It was banned in a lot of places due to the amount of audience members like violently throwing up and like being hysterical watching it.
That could all just be marketing, though. Like,
I'm sure to an extent. I'm sure to an extent it is, but it's gross enough to the point where I'm like, I could see it. I could see some people having weak stomachs.
Also, this is a 2-hour and like 14-minute movie. It didn't need to pad the runtime.
No.
This was all just that sick bastards. Damien Leone.
He's back.
Couple scenes that I would have cut out is the one where she like with her friends like gets all uppity about like, oh no, don't talk about. First off, when she goes, don't talk about cereal today, and their friends like, okay, dog, I won't fucking talk about cereal.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe kids now are just a little more understanding, but that in particular, and her going, that's weird. But sure, why not? No, that'd be like the fuck you have against cereal. And then later on, she has like this weird moment where she's like, and something else weird happened last night. What happened? Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like,
and then I'm like, what do you mean?
I don't know. I could, like I said, you could have just taken out the scene of her at school. I don't think it really added too much to the story besides telling us like the TV talk show host.
Well, yeah, but like we knew that.
Like we already saw that.
Yeah, we're well aware of what's going on with that person.
Then,
like maybe it's a nod to, hey, you're gonna see her later at the end credits, but don't really need to.
I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't watch the mid-credits scene.
Wow. How'd you know what happened then?
I looked it up.
You bastard. This is just as bad as Jobe not watching The Conjuring.
No, I don't think it's
if not less. Why? We did in the episode.
No.
Yes.
We alluded to it.
No, it was hinted, an implication.
There's another movie that Jobe was watching while we were recording. Go back and listen and see if you can find out which one.
It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2,
Look,
Secrets of the Ooze.
I'll admit it.
No, we lost the audio to
that. Host.
It's true.
My problem is, instead of being good at one thing, I am bad at many things.
He's a dick of all trades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rein it in, boys. Yippee-ki-yay.
All right. You want me to tell you something about this damn movie? I'll tell you something about this damn movie. I will say, I think the performances are a step up all around.
With one notable exception, right?
Yeah,
one notable exception, although he's the best 12-year-old we've seen in this series.
That's fair.
He's the only 12-year-old
well,
we've seen.
It's
his friends were even better actors than him.
Yeah.
And like behind when they're poking the possum, you can tell they're pieces of shit. And you're like, oh yeah, that's a piece of shit right there.
Him and his mom are both like I feel like they're both subject to just not having good dialogue. Like they have it's like everybody else has like some new dialogue that they actually put some thought into, but then a couple of the characters still have like the first Terrifier level dialogue. And like still just kind of like stereotypical of like what would a child say in a 90s sitcom?
I know he calls his mother. This is a weird one. He calls his mother mommy a lot, and I don't know.
It's constant mommy and daddy. No, but she's not though. Sienna calls them mommy and daddy exclusively. Yeah. There's not one point in the movie where they say mother or father, mom or dad. It's always mommy and daddy.
Which is
maybe because she's the mommy. You know what I'm saying?
No. Barbara also is just interesting.
I don't understand the necessity to have her be a shitty mom.
She's not the worst, you know. She's
not the worst we've seen, but like she's needlessly shitty.
Yeah, but she's going through a lot, you know. Her
kids are too. Look, like you think you'd give your kids a little bit of leeway if their dad unintentionally killed himself.
I mean, how more?
I mean, she also has to deal with
well, he wasn't in the right mind. He didn't know what he was doing when he drank that whole bottle of Jack and drove into a transformer. That's the actual thing that happens, by the way. That's how he dies.
And then the car got so hot he couldn't get out.
Yeah, but he had like a brain tumor or something that was like he wasn't right in the head. Like they explained how he's not like he didn't know who he was.
He was seeing hallucinations.
It could be. Maybe he was just on a whole nother level.
Cool clown.
Yeah.
But my point is like. Yes, they all lost something. I don't necessarily feel like that's a good reason to just lash out at your kids whenever something like very minor is happening. Some of them were a bit of, more serious circumstances, but I just feel like some of it's like she's yelling at him, and get your bowl in the fucking sink.
That was pretty funny.
All right, well, that's a bit of an overreaction.
Okay, well, let's be fair. Maybe she isn't using her head and thinking, is this the rational thing to do? Maybe she's being...
she should be. She's the mom.
Irrational. Trace, have your mother figures been rational in your life?
Are we using plural? Because some of them, yes.
I just think it's funny that Trace is like, come on, give the guy some leeway. Sure, he drank a bottle of Jack because of a brain tumor. He should be allowed to drive into one transformer with a mom that's like, her husband just got himself killed. She shouldn't lash out.
Why are we insinuating that the father is at fault for this? Like,
does he drew Art the Clown?
Like, it's not his fault that he had a brain tumor. Yeah, maybe they should have been a little more attentive with him and been like, hey, honey, can you maybe not drive or drink? Or do anything else if you're currently dying and have a brain tumor?
Nah, the whole plan went like this. He was like, man, I'm gonna stay home and drink this. And then his wife was like, get this man his keys.
I mean, okay, your 5-year-old gets a hold of your car keys, finds out how to turn on the ignition, and just goes and fucking plows into 6 cars and then runs headfirst into a pole. Is that the kid's fault?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not. The kid doesn't know any better.
Yes, he does.
No, she specifically put them on dad duty.
No, a 5-year-old has no idea what doesn't have a good concept of right and wrong.
Okay, this kid is changing ages. Earlier he was 8.
I gave him 8, but that was unreasonable because an 8-year-old does kind of know
aging, Marshall.
Yeah, and he's doing it backwards.
Okay, back to scenes I'd cut out. So at the very end, there's like. I remember I was like, okay, they're at the very last place. They're at this circus. And this is where the big finale's going to happen.
Circus is fucking fair.
They called it a circus so many times.
Well, because... Yeah, no, he's right. It's a circus.
You know what?
Like Andy.
Everyone in the comments put comment Marshall W.
Everybody put it. What's your favorite circus?
Everyone put your favorite surrogate parent.
give us their contact information.
No, I'm just saying there's a lot of the kid running away. One of the 5 of these 4, the piece of shit long neck. Okay, another quick thing. The brother, Jonathan Shaw, has a really long neck. You'll see it. You can put 2 hands stacked
Boys eating
over
the
them.
leaves on the top of the tree.
Yeah.
Right. Jonathan's there. Sienna's there. Her friend Brooke and Brooke's boyfriend. They're all there. And yeah, the boyfriend gets killed pretty quickly. He gets his dick fucking eviscerated behind his van while he's pissing. Bad
Not
move.
a real man. Oh my god.
The friend takes 9 years to die, runs through this whole thing. She fucking biffs it over like a stack of crates and then just like destroys her leg. She doesn't even get stabbed or anything until she's just like in the bathroom. She's got like a piece of wood, like a 4x4 or something or whatever it was. And she's like, stand back. I'm going to hit you. And then Art's like, you're going to get me. Acid to the face. She just takes so long to die, right? There's so much running. Same thing with Sienna and Jonathan. Even though they don't technically die, I think.
They don't.
Yeah, Sienna, does Sienna die and they come back to life? Is that applied? Or does she just like find her true soul?
That's the part of the movie that's questionable of where it doesn't give us a lot of answers. It seems like maybe she doesn't die, but she's like unconscious and then is healed and she goes doo-doo-doo-doo, and then jumps up out of the water and has a sword.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's just a lot of like Jonathan runs to a place.
Yeah.
And hides. And the Terrifier, Art the Clown, comes after him. He goes to another place and hides. Like, brother in Christ, just use your fucking periscope neck to look over and see where my boy Art the Clown is at.
Oh, we do actually get it's weird for the first one, but in this one we actually find out that it's there's a ride called the Terrifier, or it's like a little haunted funhouse thing. So that's important.
Yes, Jobe.
You know what my problem with Art is in the general way this series handles murdering people, because we've seen a lot of people get murdered, but for some reason this movie it bothers me, and I think I figured out why.
Let's hear it.
It's because Art is a fucking bully, man. He's just a dickhead to these victims compared to all right, Michael Myers, he'll come in, he'll give you a decent stab, maybe once to the chest, maybe once to the skull. You're dead. It's fine. He got you. Game over. Better luck next year, champ. But Art, he'll come in. He'll fucking knock your books out of your hand and shove you over and laugh about it the whole time. Pull down your pants and then stab you in the dick, and you're still gonna live. Yes, Marshall.
Do you think that Art wants to make a show out of it? You know, because he's a clown?
Yes.
Look, clown or no, he's still a dick.
Man, that psychopath is a fucking bully. Okay.
Look,
all right.
Obviously, this isn't real life. It's all entertainment. So I'm just saying, they made him out to be needlessly mean. And that's the Jobe Fee review.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Every other killer in every other movie is a real nice guy. Go give him a hug.
Yeah, because you're so dumb presenting a false dichotomy. No, you either are nice or you're a bully.
So if you want to prove me wrong, you gotta actually give me something other than oh, you motherfucker.
Why you gotta?
Otherwise, I'm just right.
You're not right if you're presenting a bad argument.
You're not disproving it.
The only
your argument to me was,
All right, fine. How about this? Freddy Krueger. He's a pretty funny guy, but he's not going to sit there and pick at you like a damn vulture while you sit there begging for help. No, he's just going to kill you because he has some common fucking courtesy.
We need horror villains with some goddamn manners these days, guys.
I'm really glad Joe presented that in his first argument rather than just, yeah, you know what? This guy's bad, and the other ones aren't that bad, and then got went. Oh,
Look, it took me a second to fucking Aristotle's would go out into the wilderness for days before he would come back.
and he struts back into the Coliseum. And another thing, you've been gone for 3 months. What are you doing? And then some other guy runs in behind him and goes, "This is a man."
Wasn't that
Okay,
Diogenes?
so this seems like a perfect place to take our patented,
We need a cool
non-patented
down.
Capri Sun break, not sponsored. So
All
everyone,
right. Go.
get your Capri Sun and start slurping. Everyone, you guys get to take a fucking break for a sec, dog.
Just saying.
My straw wouldn't poke through it, so I use an X-Acto knife.
Jeepers.
That might have
What do
been
you
one of
think,
our
gang?
dumber arguments.
That was pretty good.
Best or
That's a
worst
good clip,
episode
though.
yet?
No, it's a good clip. These
That's-
horror
no,
villains
that's-
need to have some fucking class.
That was good. That was a good bit.
Oh my god. I think that's what it is, because yeah, it's just needless.
Yeah.
Not that any other killing is necessary, but it's like
No,
to the point.
like I get where you're going, bro. It's just like, yeah, he cuts off her arm. Why would you need to do that? She's
He
clearly
doesn't
not
cut it off. He tears it off. With
or well,
some
yeah,
fucking
whatever.
Superhuman
Supernatural.
strength.
Yeah. Like
He
it's
does rip that
just,
guy's
like,
head open at the beginning, too.
true.
And like grabs her
But-
hand and does that whole number. Ugh.
And I think he does that to Jonathan at one point to wake him up, like
And he starts
induces
nibbling
pain.
on him.
Oh, is
Yeah, I
that
think he's
okay?
just-
I
I think
didn't
he's just
see very
chewing on
well.
his knucks.
That's what the wiki says.
Ah.
Okay, but did y'all not find hilarious when he pulled out the fucking Tommy gun?
No, that was good.
I,
That was a good bit.
yeah, I would like to get back to the dream sequence and talk about it a little bit
It's a
more. 'Cause
weird,
it is,
yeah.
I got this. Everyone ready with the juice pouch? Everybody done?
Don, I beat Jobe.
All right.
You can't-
Everybody, one more. Bring it in. Scare by scare on 3.
Wait, on
One.
3 or like go?
No, on 3.
All right, I'm gonna be careful with my
3.
hand.
Scare by
Scare
scare.
by scare.
scare.
All right, bringing it in. So I'm hope everyone had a. Oh my goodness, I'm still digesting my Capri Sun and maybe my
I'm still
dinner.
digested.
Leave a comment down below what you had for
Uh,
dinner. I
yeah.
had mini corn dogs and
I-
mini wontons.
I had some
Air-fried.
chicken soup because my throat was a little sore today.
Joe, what did you have for dinner?
Cool.
Job, no one heard anything you said, so we'll just move on. I think
What
Job
the
said
hell?
he had.
There we go. Hey,
I think
buddy.
Job said he had massive dick for dinner. What?
If massive dick is what you call Arby's,
Let's go. What'd
It
you get at
is.
Arby's?
I just get the roast beef sando with some
Oh.
cheese sauce.
Cool.
Dude, I love their fries.
Perfect segue. The dream sequence was something that took me at the beginning of the movie. It took me for a loop, right? Because it kind of starts off with our character Sienna. She's watching this ad on TV for like a clown cafe, and you're like, "Oh, Art's just gonna show up in the TV." But then she falls asleep, and then she's in the dream, and you're like, "Okay, this is weird." And then they have this homegirl, and she's just strumming on her banjo, ba-ding, 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 ding, 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 ding. And then she's singing her song. Yeah, Joe?
Just quick interruption. My Scare by Scare host will
bastard.
confirm this, but I have been on a banjo kick lately, so that was fun to
What?
see.
Yeah, Joe has been really into banjo music recently, specifically space banjo. So if you're
Yeah.
in the mood for some new music, check out space banjo. On the other hand, but like I said, you know, the it just seemed weird, every kid in this seemed oddly cute. And then there's the whole nun that's sitting there. Give him food. Give him food. Yes, Joe.
Hold on. Trace, what's the matter, bud? Was banjo your thing? And then I just kind of walk in and took it?
I'm just, just upset that no one told me,
About
I
banjo?
messaged the
Yeah.
group chat.
Nah, I wasn't part of that conversation.
No.
You just nar.
You know I have a bad memory. You got to tell me 6 more times.
You're like
My dad
Dory
from Finding Nemo.
and Finding Dory. And are they in Kingdom
No.
Hearts?
No,
They gotta be,
I
right?
don't think so.
Let's get
Little
our.
Mermaid is.
I'm gonna get our people on it. Jobe, can you find that out?
I know.
Oh,
And
fucking nerd. But yeah, the dream sequence was just oddly weird out of nowhere. But I feel like it kind of fits to imply that there's a connection between Art and homegirl Sienna.
Mhm.
Jobe's
And
wrong.
I think it also
Dory
might
is a
have
princess who is originally from Finding Nemo and makes an appearance in Kingdom Hearts Dream Worlds.
What the
What the hell is Kingdom Hearts Dream Worlds?
Fake
Making
fan.
up fantasy shit. What am I supposed to know every
Yeah,
world
that's
they
all
go
it
to
is.
in Union Cross?
Yes.
Dream World. Back to the dream that we're talking about in this movie.
Whoa.
Another segue.
Crazy.
Speaking of dream worlds, did you talk about how Art lights the banjo player on fire?
No, he lights the banjo player on fire, which is pretty sick.
did
And he
mention
goes, I don't know how that translates to hearing it, but he kind of does like a little head shake, right? It's pretty funny. But like I said, everything with Art not killing people as much is pretty good, except for when he pulls out the Tommy gun out of nowhere and just annihilates everyone on set. That was just funny and unexpected. What do y'all think of the dream sequence? Was it necessary or what?
Necessary is a strong word. I
I don't think it need to be that
kind
long.
of establish. It is very long, but it also helps establish the
connection.
sword as
Yeah.
being an object of great importance.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, it's just a funny thing. I think the other thing, though, is like, I guess it's just kind of unconfirmed if Art himself is like, how much of this is real and how much of this is Art's doing, or is this just something that happened that he, like, maybe unawarely affected?
That's my thing, or at least that's how my take was on it when he first comes back. It kind of seems like he's fully he's not truly understanding as to why he's back or the things that he can or can't do, and is just kind of almost learning what his role is while he's going on and doing these things. It just kind of seems like he's a little like he's aware that he's doing these things, but he's unaware of how he's able to do these things or how he could take have all this strength, sustain this much damage. All
it kind
that
of seems like maybe it's a Spawn thing, where in the first movie, he's a normal guy, but then he died, went to hell, and now he's back to get revenge.
I could see that.
In the first movie, it didn't seem that he was like super naturally strong. He just seemed like a regular dude. But in this movie, where he's like splitting people's heads open and ripping their arms off and stuff, and taking smacks to the back of the head. Yeah. But something I was thinking about is that dream sequence. If you think about the beginning of the movie, before the dream sequence, it's he kills the coroner and the guy at the laundromat. And then it's the dream sequence, and then like nothing happens until he kills the shop owner. So there's a big chunk that if they didn't have the dream sequence in there, it would be kills a laundromat guy, blah 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 the shop owner, and then that's just pretty quick one as well. It's not as big as the dream sequence. So I wonder if they put that in there to have some sort of action between these two points in the movie.
Like a buffer.
Or just be like, look, we have money now. Look what we can do. Song. See what I'm saying?
We were able to hire a musician. we tried to get Slipknot, but they wouldn't do it.
I got
She got Snoop
ICP.
Dogg.
Creed was our next, but yeah, they couldn't do it either.
Like, it's funny because you know the words because you mumbled them in your mouth.
Well, yeah, but what the audience didn't see off camera was that his dad walked in and shot him in the chest, so his lungs are filling up with blood.
Joe's just so.
Anyway,
Yeah, back to the movie.
I just yeah, it's a weirder movie, I will say.
There's
Very
definitely
weird.
some things that are like, what the fuck? Like, one thing for me was Sienna's friend puts Molly in her
Yeah, she spikes her drink.
which this harkens back to an old, I think it was a Tom Segura bit as a comedian. He's like, listen, strangers aren't going to spike your drink. It's going to be your friends. And I'm thinking, wow, it is her friend that spikes her drink. And then, like, she's like tripping on it. That's the whole shtick. And then they go. And I think maybe it's the adrenaline, like, overrides the Molly and alcohol and Xanax that she's taken today. But, like, she seems perfectly fine after she has a little screaming bit in the club, you know?
It really sobers you up.
I guess
Yeah,
if
you
you
can
scream.
Which,
If
okay.
you just go with the flow.
See, but on that point though, there's a certain degree of responsibility here that I feel like is just kind of really pushing the blame, where she takes Xanax knowing that she's going to go to this club to drink. So she's got those things both in her system, and then the second the Molly is introduced is when she's like, hey, that's super dangerous. I'm like, okay, yes. However, you did knowingly ingest Xanax and alcohol, which is mixing shit.
I will say the point at when she's like, "What the fuck? I could died." It's right after she's like getting chewed out for freaking out in the club. So I think at that point she's just trying to turn the argument back onto her friend, who's being kind of an asshole.
Also,
well, yeah, no, her friend is being kind of a bitch about the whole
good
thing.
tip from her friend to all our younger viewers out there: if you are drunk or high on Molly, do not call your parents. They can sniff this shit out from miles away.
Unless you
Okay.
need a ride, call them and get a ride.
Yeah, if you need somewhere to go that's safe, please
Yeah. Do that. But I'm
call your
saying,
parents
like,
or someone you trust.
don't call your parents to just like shoot the shit while you're plastered at 6
Hey,
p.m. or whatever,
Dad,
you know?
how's it going?
Unless you have that relationship, I guess.
Right? There's
I
always
didn't know. It's fun. It's a funny bit in the movie though, where she's like, "Oh my gosh, hi mom, are you drunk?"
No, it's better because she's like bitching about Jonathan. I'm gonna fucking kill this fucking kid. Is what he fucking do. And then she says something, and she's like, "Are you drunk?" Were we talking about Jonathan?
Yeah.
Like a second
Oh,
You
ago?
weren't talking about me.
Hold
Look,
up now.
mom,
Let's
don't
focus
push
on the
this
issue
on
at
me.
hand.
Your son tried to kill you via shaving cream on your car. Which that's the other thing. Why would she think he would have shaving cream? Dad's dead. Kid's not
Yeah.
shaving.
No, maybe she uses shaving cream to shave herself.
She's probably got really hairy legs and
There it
needs the extra help.
Here's a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
think Art makes good mashed potatoes? Because they looked pretty good.
Here's my thing.
I'd have to imagine, yeah.
They looked too smooth. I like a smooth tater, but I want a little bit of crunch. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you think crunch,
No, I don't know what you call it.
chunk?
Chunk. But that doesn't make this. What is the
I like
sound?
so I make mashed potatoes and then I dice some other potatoes, caramelize them, and I put those in the mashed potatoes.
Trace is
Maybe
making
he.
fun of me.
I am.
Trace,
he probably
remember
just
those
got
mashed?
that
Remember, everyone,
prepackaged,
shut up! Everyone, shut up!
Everyone meaning Jobe.
Trace, remember those really good tacos that you made once, and how were the best tacos you've ever had? Please tell us what you made.
I'm not going to deny it. I made white people tacos. They were good. I liked it. You know what I used? I used seasoning from a packet.
You white boy.
Because I didn't grow up knowing how to make tacos any other way. Marshall's on this whole thing of him going, you gotta add the spices. You gotta make your own spices to put in the tacos. I'm like,
You can't make your own spices, dude.
That's
Just
amazing,
get them from
Marshall.
the store.
It's great, Marshall. I love that you can make your own seasoning. However, your mother is a first-generation Mexican woman who knows all these things.
First generation. That implies
She's
that she's the first one in her Mexico. No,
She was
my
the first
mom
Mexican.
is not the first Mexican person in
Ever.
the family.
No, not just the family.
He invented Mexico. Thanks for that one, Heidi.
Whoa, dude. You can't say her
Tell him how to
name.
spell it.
Yeah, but I mean, just knowing that she's the first one to find Mexico and that her name is Heidi, they're gonna find her immediately.
Back to the movie.
So let me tell you something about this goddamn movie.
You've said this. That same line. You said, "Let me tell you about this fucking movie."
And
multiple
honestly,
times.
the swearing, it's a bit unnecessary at this point.
You could cut it out, honestly. Bitch.
Madison, censor me specifically. Thank you.
Please do. Fuck.
From this point on.
Just mute my audio.
Replace it with the word egg.
Egg. Wait, here, I'll give you one, Madison.
That was so bad.
Did not go through?
No.
Nothing.
Sorry.
That was terrible.
Worse.
It's not going through.
Egg.
There we go.
Hey.
Third time's the charm.
Anyway,
Let's hear
let
it.
me tell you about Arte the Clown. He's just better in this movie. Like,
I bet.
I feel like they did something with the prosthetics on him to make him cut a more intimidating figure. I think, like around the brows.
They cut they have a more line around his face that kind of peels off. That implies that there's like it's not face paint on this one. I think because in the first one it's face paint and there was a hat like his little bald cap. You can see it. Yeah. But I think there's also this one his face paint was like a mask kind of or like part of his face that was peeling off.
He just has some prosthetics on.
Yeah, the way it looks. I'm looking at it.
But it looked a little like I don't know. Continue.
But I also think like part of it is, and I could just be misremembering, but I feel like his grin is better in this one. Like it's just more of a weird sneer rather than just a guy with a big grin on his face. It feels more violent, just like the way he carries his face, but at the same time it makes the bits funnier because you can just tell at a glance that he's psychotic. He's not just some like dope fiend or whatever.
Except if you are a character in this story and then he's just a random asshole.
Yeah.
For the most part. Hey, but I
shout out to random assholes.
Hey yo.
That's why
I always have to applaud like actors that do a lot with just their body and stuff like that. Like this guy, what's his name? Andy Serkis is another. Yeah. Like people that they can do stuff with their physicality. Like this guy, obviously, was named like Billy Bobby Thornton or some shit like that, or
David Howard Thornton. Thornton.
Right? Like he has no sound, so it's all in face and his body, right? Like all the acting they can do, but you can tell when he's smiling what is like a happy smile, like as a bit, and then you can tell what his smile as he's gonna kill you next time he has a chance, which is a big distinction. The prosthetics probably help with that and his like makeup and stuff because he can really accentuate his mouth, which is I don't think I ever said that before in my life. That's cool. Go Marshall. Accentuate the mouth. But as you know what I'm saying? Like you can tell like what he's thinking and his thought process by his body language and what his face is doing. It's impressive. You have to give this guy that he is such a good maniacal clown killer with no manners, according to Jobe.
Yeah, I think Jobe just doesn't like the guy as a person.
It's
Racist.
true. Hold on, give me a second.
One Mississippi.
I think he's calling him.
Yeah.
Jobe
I
said.
hate
Jobe said.
David Howard Thornton. Anyway.
We just said it. You already forgot the name.
He
I
said
did
Billy
too.
Bob Thornton.
I said David Howard Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton was a person, though.
That was his father.
He is a person. Is it
don't
actually
know
his
that.
father?
I don't fucking know who his father is.
Why
Never
do you
met the
say it
guy.
like it's so hard to figure out? It's called Wikipedia.
Nope, not there.
Nar.
All right, cool. Anyway, one other thing I like about the character of Art the Clown is
really knows
he
what he's
isn't an emotionless killer like, say, Michael Myers. Like, I feel like if you piss him off, kind of like what Sienna does, like, he doesn't go so much for the torture and all the showy aspects. Like, he just wants to kill you if you piss him off.
That's also shown with the friend. He wants candy, and then she denies him candy multiple times, and then she goes to give him candy, but he's already pissed off at this point. And then she sees inside his bag of goodies, which has all his weapons of torture and now candy, and so then he's gonna kill her and torture her. And I think that's the combination of he's pissed off at her because he didn't get candy, plus she saw the stuff. And that was his first kill. Oh no, I mean his second kill since in a year, since the coroner. Because it was a shop owner and then the friend and then the friend's mom.
And the laundromat.
Oh, third and fourth then. The laundromat guy. Well, he may have lived.
Nah. He had a big thing through his skull.
You get my big thing through your skull. Hey yo!
I think also
Do it, coward.
If you go back to the first one with the one before Vicky, whoever it was that like
Tara?
hit him, like stabbed him and shit and pissed him off, and he just comes back and shoots her in the head.
Yeah, I think that one was Tara.
It's like once you hit him, like you're not like you're not playing along, you
Right?
know?
Like you're now a threat, and he's like he gets
doing your part.
He has the oh shit smile, like oh fuck.
Which is a little. I feel like there's a little less of that in this one, just because at a certain point he knows that he can't be killed, right?
Yeah.
Like he's unstoppable, so he'll play with it a little more. But at a certain point, he's just gonna fucking try and kill you or something. But it really only applies to Sienna that he doesn't. He does try and torture for a bit, but also he just goes and tries to kill her for. I think there's something. It's implied that they lured her there for some reason.
Yeah,
we don't know what
but
that
they
reason
don't
is.
really need Jonathan alive to do it the way they do it, because
no, they could have killed him because she was already on his way.
Impersonates the voice, and then otherwise they just text him through his
Maybe
phone. So.
Maybe they needed him alive to impersonate the voice.
Well, but yeah, after that though, they could have just done that. She's already on her way to come get him. At that point, you could just kill him and then text him on the phone.
That
be like,
it's
Terrifier.
Yeah. Maybe Art wanted to nibble on him.
It's probably. I mean, yeah, that's also true. But I do think that might be my biggest gripe about the movie is the amount that we're not told. Like, I don't get me wrong. I do like a little bit of mystery to it. I just wish we'd have a little more resolution to it towards the end, or at least have a few questions answered. Because, like, yeah, she gets stabbed and thrown into a pit, and then suddenly she's in the dream sequence and underwater in a tube. And then she goes, you know what? I'm a warrior. And then and I found this print, and so their little stab wound starts to glow, and then she does the whole He-Man, I have the power, and then just like jumps up and is like ha ha ha. Which, don't get me wrong, love it. I love the whole Valkyrie warrior angel thing. I love it. It's great, and she kicks his ass, and I think it's a good sequence of like having that thing of like, you know what, I'm fucking done with this. We need to kill this asshole. I'm cutting his head off. She's grown into the courageous warrior that she said she would never be. Yeah.
MVP.
I think for me, like my interpretation of all of that nonsense is that like dream sequence is kind of like Art's own little section of hell that he's like in charge of.
Possibly.
Because like
That's so good.
if you go off like the
No, like that's actually like really funny. Like he's like micromanaging this little area of hell, but he's killed everyone off. But he's got
He
one
got
person
promoted to
playing the
assistant manager.
banjo.
He's not even
yeah.
assistant manager, he's a shift lead.
He's like, "What does this place need? Banjo player on fire. Go. Oh, what's the fucking naked mole rats from Rango? They were playing the banjo, remember? Ride of the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Really quick to
And she's
review
a
it.
Valkyrie.
Some hurdy-gurdy. But yeah, also like
watch Rango. It's so good.
We'll do that one
it
soon.
is. But yeah, also her coming out of hell could maybe we're gonna see warrior, angel, battle, princess, whatever.
I'd be
have
down
you
for
do.
The
Although-
third one is supposed to be a Christmas one, so maybe they
Yeah.
get a Krampusy up in there.
God. The only problem I'd
I
have
hope Santa shows up. That's all I want.
the only problem I'd have with the warrior angel princess thing is that then it can no longer be a horror movie. You know that like that just has to be an action movie.
Sure, it can.
I
She
mean,
loses her
these
powers.
movies
That's still
these
just like
movies are
that, that's an arc
particularly
in most
scary anyways. They're
No,
just
it's the gross. It's like the shock factor of all the gruesome kills. But like if they do that, and it's like it would be a really cool sequence of like she's got a little bit power behind her now that she's back from hell. He's clearly to an extent indestructible. So like having them fight back and forth. I was just saying how he was how I was indestructible. He's indestructible. And like. Yeah, that would be a really cool fight sequence to have happen. Like, have them both be able to go all out and fight on equal terms. But I don't feel like that's just too much of an action movie.
Yeah. Anywho, fuck, what was I gonna say? It was something sick.
Well, hey, Trace isn't listening to this point, but I feel like Legion, Paul Bettany, I think it is, strikes a pretty good balance as like horror action that they could do.
I know what I was gonna say. I got it, guys.
Ooh.
Let me know when you're ready for it.
Sorry, guys. I just had to walk it off real quick. I was heaved.
Just let me know when you're ready. I'm ready to go.
Go, Marshall, go.
Oh, okay. I saw a thread about people. Someone was trying to proposition saying, "Hey, would you say the Terrifier 2 is just not a horror movie? Just in general, it's just an action movie with a lot of gore and some scary sequences, but not a horror movie." What do you think? Because I'd classify it under a horror movie, just because at some points you could say it's scary, and that's the main premise it's going for. But I could see how someone puts it as like action thriller with a lot of scary, gory elements.
So, I wouldn't say that what they're going for is scary. The scary part of horror. I would say they are leaning heavily into the gore and blood factor more of the horror tag. The part that I find is weird is it's tagged as horror crime.
I mean, murder's a crime.
Okay, yeah. So then give that to all the other horror movies too, because a bunch of murder happens in those.
There's
They're never prosecuted, all right? They never prosecuted. They never went to trial.
None of these movies go to trial.
Yeah, we settled out.
Yeah, fucking Michael Myers sitting in the courtroom, and he's like,
I didn't know.
"Do you have anything to say for yourself?" And he just kind of puts his mouth up to the mic, doesn't say anything, and they go, "Okay, all right."
Where's my horror?
Horror. It's just well, all lawyers go to hell. I think that's the stigma.
Anyway.
No, it's all dogs go to heaven.
I think overall, Terrifier 2 is a big improvement over the first one. If you like the first one, you're gonna love the second one. If you didn't like the first one, you might like the second one a little bit.
It depends what you didn't like about the first one.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing, right?
If you didn't like the mime clown, you're not gonna like this one.
No, I'm saying if you didn't like the amount of gore, you're not gonna like the second one. If you didn't like the gore but really liked art, you might be able to like the second one. It depends how much you like Arte the Clown.
And again, I will express some level of respect to Damien Leone's because that's he got a bigger budget, but I feel like he used it very well to just make a better movie. Not one that was easier to market, because fuck's sake, how do you sell this to distributors?
You don't.
But at the same time, you're a sick man, and I hope you get the help you need. Terrifier 2 gets itself a 6 out of 10.
He was born in Staten Island. That explains a lot.
He's from the Bronx.
Sorry, I was thinking about my funny bit. What did you rate it?
You give it a 6.
What an asshole.
That's still higher. It's still lower than Vivarium, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But
look, Vivarium didn't make me mad.
Why did this make you mad?
Because Art's a fucking bully, man.
He is a bully in there.
He's a bully.
Hey guys, can I go?
You're gonna tell me that Michael Cera is not Michael Cera, the not Michael Cera guy?
Jesse Eisenberg. Marshall, what would you give this?
I don't want you guys to fight anymore, guys.
Shut up. I don't want you guys to fight anymore.
If you could stop, that'd be great. I gave it a higher score than I gave Terrifier 1. I gave Terrifier 1 an 8.14. Terrifier 2 gets an 8.96, the highest rated film I have on here. Look at that. Terrifier 2.
Sick bastard.
Better than you giving fucking Vivarium Jobe sucks it off out of 4.
Okay, but you basically gave Terrifier 2 a 9.
No. Terrifier 2 was an 8.96.
Were you not paying attention?
A 9.
It's basically a 9.
My God.
No, it's not. I'm very deliberate with my scores.
Look,
if
I ask for $1 and you hand me 94 cents, I'm gonna be confused, but I'll still take it.
Can you buy the thing you wanted for $1 with 94 cents?
I can buy anything for $1. Have you seen this economy?
Yes, I have.
Anyway,
the prophecy.
Grace, go ahead, give it a 7.
I'm not gonna give it a 7. Because it was. I will say, part of my thing is too long. I don't need to sit through 2 hours of that to get the point across from the movie. But in the interest of proving Jobe wrong, I will give this a 6.3. I'm
changing my score, guys, to 8.511112.
Repeating. Is that the most? Is that the Marshall? Is that the most succinct score you've given so far?
Yeah, I think 8.5112 is really it's less close to 9.
That's his area,
but it's still above Terrifier 1.
Hey,
yeah.
Fair.
But the most important thing,
I'm an asshole, though.
The most important thing is it's above Vivarium, which everything is.
You know what else is above Vivarium?
Everything.
Spirit, Stein of the Cimarron.
Grace, what the gosh darn heck are we gonna watch next week?
First of all, it's weird hearing you not swear, so I'm gonna have to ask you to add that back. Second of all, we are going to be going to a fun little mansion out in the Bronx. I don't remember where it's actually at. We're going to be watching Winchester.
Not to be confused with the Winchesters, the show.
It's more like Winchester the rifle.
Just Winchester the movie. And
2018.
Thanks to all our buttholes and fans out there. If you love us, if you moderately are okay with us, give us a follow on Instagram and give us a like, comment down below on what we got here.
Subscribe.
We post every
Praise.
Thursday on every podcasting platform. We usually have some TikToks going out too, so follow us on there. Give us a like.
We're gonna be getting some visuals on those starting the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, by the time they hear this, it should have happened.
Time is a
Maybe.
very funny
Yeah.
thing. It's like a bunch of yarn together. It's a timey-wimey kabumble. That's a Doctor Who reference.
It's
I'm gonna
wibbly
stop.
wobbly,
Anyway.
timey-wimey.
All
That's
right,
what it was.
Sadie, now
Fucking nerd.
music's coming in.
So am I.
This is where the banjo solo comes in.
Oh yeah, wait, can we get a banjo solo for this one specifically?
You can find someone that'll play it for no rights.
That's easy. It's a banjo. No one has any rights when it comes to banjos.
They're second-class citizens.
Oh God.
It's true.
The banjos, not the humans.
Oh god, there we go. That's us.